Like most people, I don't usually like filler. It literally exists to waste time while canon material is being adapted, and it almost always sucks, because why bother trying to make it good when you're just trying to run out the clock? That's why I was so impressed with the filler in My Hero Academia. Filler that's so good that half the time I didn't even realize it was filler. 3 seasons in, and there have only been 4 filler episodes, which is surprisingly good for an ongoing shonen series. The fact that Hiroaka actually embraces the concept of seasons, instead of just trying to come out every week forever, likely helps a lot. That's not to say they handle it perfectly. Episode 39 is essentially just a clip show, which was massively disappointing since this was the first episode of Season 3. I can see the logic in this, since the show saw a pretty tremendous surge in popularity throughout Season 2, so a lot of new fans probably jumped in with Season 3. But it still sucked to be someone who already knew who these characters are and remembered what happened in the first 2 seasons, because I didn't get anything worthwhile until the second episode of the season. They do try to frame all of the flashbacks in a manner that would explain their presence in universe, which I do appreciate, but the entire thing still felt like a big waste of time. Thankfully, this is the one time that filler didn't work out. I was shocked to find out that episode 32, spotlighting Froppy, was filler. Now, granted, Deku's dialogue in the first few minutes of the episode is a pretty clear sign of what the episode is, but if you missed that part, or you're like me and you aren't paying complete attention during the boring hospital scene, this feels like a regular episode. Especially since it spotlights Froppy. Sue's been a fan favorite character since day one, and she hadn't received very much screen time yet, so it made perfect sense to me that she'd get this kind of spotlight. And I want to stress this point. It never even occurred to me that this episode could be filler, because it gave fans something they wanted. Not only that, but something the canon episodes didn't. And that's something this show's filler would continue to do straight on through episode 55. Just like episode 32, this time we're seeing the spotlight given to a handful of characters that don't get enough time to shine. Yaoyorozu, Jiro, Shoji, and Sue are put into a situation where the only way out is for Momo to continue to grow in terms of her self-confidence under high-pressure situations, while the rest of the group display a complete refusal to leave a teammate behind even if it would mean they fail at their objective. We even get to see Sue's vulnerability to the cold, which is a canon part of her character, but it's never come up in the series before. Even the opponents they're facing, while incredibly generic and boring, are led by a character that I would have believed was a character right out of the source material. Her quirk, the ability to amplify her intelligence after drinking tea with different levels of increase based on the type of tea, fits with this world. That's the kind of character I would expect to meet in the canon material, and I'm amazed she isn't there. Apparently in the manga, all we saw was Momo's group arrive in the waiting room after they passed, along with Todoroki. Oh yeah, him fighting those ninjas was only like one panel or something. Instead of making their success a footnote, we got to see it happen, and it was presented in a way that felt perfectly in line with the sort of content and tone we usually get from My Hero Academia, and even worked as believable character progression for Momo. Episode 58 is a weird one, because it stops the canon story arc dead to promote the Hiroaka movie. First by breaking the fourth wall entirely, having All Might talk about the fact that that's exactly what's going on, and then having the cast literally stand around watching the movie. Even when you get past all of this bizarre metatextual self-promotion and into the real meat of the episode, it's not that great, especially compared to the last 2 fillers we talked about, but I still give it a lot of credit for continuing to deliver in the same way the last 2 fillers did, by giving us something that makes sense but we haven't seen before. Class 1A is presented with a mock hostage situation and is told to assess and resolve the conflict as best they can, only for it to become a locked room mystery that they have to solve without outside help. They're presented with 2 different types of situations that they have never experienced before, but would make sense for them to come across once they're pros. And the resolution to both have nothing to do with fighting or even really using their quirks. The fact that we got an episode like this is awesome. It was so different from what we've seen of their education up to now, and yet it feels exactly like the sort of thing they'd get around to eventually. All of these filler episodes, they feel like a natural extension of the canon. Yeah, it's there to eat up time, but it's doing a tremendous job of blending in. And I won't say too much about it now, but everything good I've said about this show's anime original content also applies to the movie, My Hero Academia 2 Heroes, as it gives us something that the series couldn't. All Might and Deku teaming up to fight a villain, all Batman and Robin style. We've never seen that before, and who knows if we'll ever see it again. Hell, we might never have seen it at all, because of narrative constraints on the canon story. But we got it here, in anime-only material, and it works. It also gave us Melissa Shield, the best girl in a show full of best girls. She's an absolute delight and a really interesting character to have around Deku, since she was born without a quirk and found a way to help the world regardless. Is there any way we can arrange some sort of filler exchange program and swap her for Toga or something, because it seriously sucks that Melissa isn't in the canon. So yeah, My Hero Academia's filler isn't above having everyone just stand around the pool having flashbacks for 20 minutes, but when it's not solely focusing on catching up new viewers, everything new they introduce specifically for the anime makes the world of this show feel bigger and makes the supporting cast feel important. It almost never feels like I'm just waiting around killing time until the good stuff shows up, because filler can be good too. This show taught me that. What's your favorite filler? It could be an episode, an arc, or even a movie. Anything that's not in the source material. What about it clicked with you? Tell me about it in the comments below. Thank you as always for watching, it means a lot. Talk to you again soon.